I came across a memory the other day from when I first started tutoring. And when I first started, I basically was so paranoid about the fact that the business wouldn't take off that I was accepting any work anywhere pretty much. And this family got in touch with a young lad who was probably only about 5 or 6. And but they lived about 45 minutes away. So I said, okay, I'd commit to it for the summer holidays. Probably wouldn't be able to take it any longer. Although I did in the end take it to half term. But then by that stage, I realized that the time I was spending traveling there and back, I could have actually been supporting someone else as well. So I I did have to kind of like call an end to it. But this young lad, the first time I went, when I walked in, the mum introduced me at the door, and I walked in. This young lad was sat at the table. He was only young. He was only really quite small, and he sat there with his head quite down, and his legs were swinging, his hands in his lap, and you could tell that he was really close to tears. The poor kid looked so terrified, I guess. And I sat myself down next to him, said, "Okay, hi, I'm Dawn. This is for you." And I gave him the starter pack that we give every child, and said, "Look, these are the games I've brought with me. If they're too easy, too hard, just not what you want to do, let me know or tell your mum, and I'm more than happy to change it for next time." And we spent the next hour or so playing games. One of the games we played was his mum had said in advance that he likes cars and maps and roads and things. So I'd made this map, or it was more like a town. And I made it on quite a big piece of paper. And if I remember rightly, we used cars as our counters. But as you moved around the town, you had to answer different questions. I can't remember now what they were based on, but next hour, so we pretty much sat and played different games, all based around supporting his maths and English and boosting his confidence and his knowledge. Next week, when I went back, when I knocked on the door, you could hear you could hear footsteps running to the door, and he opened the door with a smile. Oh, breakthrough, thank goodness. By week 3, when I went, as I pulled round the corner onto their street, you could see he was sat on the doorstep waiting for me to arrive. And it's so lovely to think that in such a short space of time, you can make such a difference. And I'm sure a big part of it is because we do work on boosting confidence as well as knowledge, and we do treat every child as an individual. That's what's important. It's not just kind of like getting them through a curriculum in order to pass an exam. It's about boosting their knowledge so that as their knowledge increases, oh, I'm sorry, as their confidence increases, the more willing, I guess, to have a go. The more willing they are to have a go, the more practice they get, the more practice they get, the more confident, the better they get, the more confident they become, the more willing they are to have another go and try again. And confidence is huge when we're working with children. Back a similar sort of time, as I was starting to build up the business, I was asked if I would rather than trying to start my own business from nothing, would I be better off starting a franchise, or not starting a franchise, sorry, buying into a franchise. And the one that was suggested was a very well-known one, which specializes in kind of like worksheets, and the worksheet, you just progressively work through these worksheets. But there's the that sort of anonymity and just generic style of teaching just didn't work with everything I'd ever learned about teaching. And so I said no. I mean, it was an amazing opportunity because the person I was talking to, someone I was quite close to, he was actually offering to pay for it for me. But the ethos of this company just didn't sit right with me. So I kind of said no. And I've put the time and the years and the money and everything into it since, and built up Clara James to what it is today. And I'm so grateful that in that moment I didn't agree to buying the franchise of the other company, and instead have kind of like built our company up so that now we are ready to franchise. And I can say, when I talk to people about what we do, I can talk with pride and I can talk with conviction, because I genuinely, hand on heart, believe that the way we do things is the best way to do it. But anyway, that was my thoughts for today. The fact that by making things tailor-made to the individual, treating them as an individual, working on their confidence, we can make such a big difference to the confidence and knowledge of each individual person that we work with. Have a great day.